Okay, here we are. Oh, what is it today? January 7th or 8th, 2025. And who knows what day it is because we're in the midst of the unpreventable coming chaos that's now here. We've been talking for years about making our consciousness ship shape in our lives and our thoughts and our relationships, where we live, what we're doing. And so now we're buckling our seatbelts. There is so much happening. There is a undercurrent of anger, confusion, and potential exposure of some shenanigans around the election, which already was heart-rendering for 50% of the population, even those that knew we need changes. And there's going to be some potential vaccine global ruptures, pulling back some veils to look at some energetic operational things there, which will change how everybody thinks about America and its safety and its ability to vote, have trajectories, and move ahead, because it's almost like this is the end of the movie. Everybody was involved with the drama. Everybody had their finger in who didn't want to lose out on the goodies. Every country that has been protecting their marbles and standing defensively, playing the game, the alpha male elbow game, we're going to see everything for what it is. Potentially before January 20th, the big day where someone comes in and says, I now will lead the most powerful nation in the entire world. We're not sure how that's all going to work out. And our consciousness in all of this is being expressed in what? Other living things, geophysical changes, fires. A lot of people are mad at Hollywood, and they're saying that you perpetrated all these false ideas, and a lot of players there actually have dark agendas involved with the government. And I'm not going to say any names because then you get tagged. But the idea is there's just been so many defensive veils of secrecy for so long that you can't trust any media. I understand that the most popular social media is going to stop all information checking. Why? Because the people they're checking with have an agenda. Everybody has a personalized agenda. The geophysical changes didn't have to come. They are coming. Earthquakes, huge earthquakes, fires. My daughter texted late last night, I'm being evacuated from Hollywood. She's in the triangle of 3 major fires that are jumping highways and this and that. So it's almost like spirit and truth is, remember those little, oh, hold on, I've got one. If it's not packed already, if you saw what I'm working on this house, we're disassembling this house for packing. I have this false background of normalcy. This place is a wreck, which again mirrors the tower card breaking apart, falling apart, everything that was your routine, that you had muscle memory, and this is safety, and this is how I act. I am a woman, this is my role, this is done. Done. And it needed to be done because we're walking across a moat of the old world to our divinity, and there's not much to take from the 3D. But here it is. Ta-da. This is what spirit and those of us that are here, we are looking closely and we're saying, I actually see the duplicitous nature. And everyone is going to be invited or cajoled or pressured or, what's that word? Not embezzled, but when someone has no other choice to do it or they're going to lose bigger, but they put it on the table. Everyone's going to show their hand in their involvement. All of us in being false to the divine order of the universe in all its myriad ways. So because we didn't mitigate and open our mind and our earth activities here towards more divinity, love, truth, and goodness, now we're suffering the fires. We're suffering earthquakes. We're suffering things to help us say, oh my God. Well, this morning I was thinking, how can I help? Who can I ask that would take in my daughter and 3 cats? And one is sick, by the way, just to make it more spicy. Needs, maybe has to be in the bathroom or something. And I thought, who has the biggest hearts? And I could see those that would say, no, my fancy house. And those that would say, are you kidding? Absolutely. You just tell me when she'll arrive. And it became so clear to me, people living in spirit and goodness and kindness, and those living in the material 3D world. We have chosen our paths. It's very clear. And right now, because of the dissonance, it's about 50-50. I would say most humans given a chance will choose goodness, but they're put into defensive states to protect themselves living in this realm. So there is rocking and rolling enough to shake us up. And I've said this for years. When the fire comes to your own front porch, what do? You open your heart. You become the kind of human that we were supposed to be. So let's take a deep breath. And all of this, I know, you're checking, would I let a woman and her 3 cats come in? How would that work? What would happen if this came this close to me? And I even had to check myself last night, because when a friend called and said his mom and sister were in peril by the fire, he said, will you pray with me? And I put a protective. I said, I ask and intend to put protection wherever it's needed. And I kind of held a little space, but when it was my daughter, I was on it. Do you see how we personalize things? Not everybody gets the same treatment. For years I've said, treat that person like they are your mother, your family, your sister. Game changer. So I was praying last night, still that wind, bring that moisture in. Let's get this handled. Because we can. I've been talking on this little video screen to people who have dominion over the 3rd dimension. And we do our magic work when something bad happens or when we're meditating and we go in that space. So Spirit showed me something last night, a long dream, which was so crazy. But I'm going to tell you this dream because it applies to you as well. Getting online with your gifts. Because if last night at 7 p.m. I would have gotten the big guns together and we would have really worked with that weather powerfully, we could have really shifted some things. And I've said before, the times where I've worked with people, we have removed smoke just over the town of Olympia when my grandson was coming, and we could prove it by the charts. We have got clouds moving and unusual. So we have experimented with the physical domain very successfully. Why? Because it's space, and the feminine has dominion over the space. And the great Isis, the goddess of Isis, works with all the sliths, the wind entities of nature. And so when we call them in, when we are holding our dominion and our gifts in a trustworthy way and come together, I could have done more. Okay. So this dream, it was so long. And again, I'm kind of tired. I'm in the middle of moving. I'm up all night thinking about this and that. The dream was I'll back up a little bit. For about 15 years since my spiritual awakening, often in my dreams, I will fly. I'll just rise up above the crowd and start flying around. But people don't want to see me. They don't want to see somebody else getting to do something they can't do. And I even dreamed one night, my sister said, look down, don't give her this satisfaction that we know that she can fly. Let's just stay right here. Don't let her know. And I thought that was hilarious. And then one time there's a big gymnasium, and it was all my colleagues, all my sound healing colleagues, and all the scientists I've worked with. And I said, I just feel like flying. So I got up and I'm flying. And they're like, poor form. No, we don't want to see a gift. We have gifts. We don't want to see your gift all solo showing up. So Spirit had me put my arm around someone who really wanted to fly in the shoulder. And I said, if you believe you can fly, I can help you fly. And I said, just jump on the count of 3. And we flew. And that was okay with everybody for me to teach other people to fly. Okay? And so this dream, it's hilarious because I know who the angels are on this earth because I fly with them at nighttime. And I see faces and we fly and we have fun. And one night we're flying over, we're looking down, we're going, oh my God, look at that. Sure glad we can fly. We don't want to fall right now. And I said, this is when I was dating after my divorce. And I said, I looked the other angel, I go, is there anything we can do with this guy I'm dating? And she says, well, just think about it. You're having a lot of fun as a human. Other people don't get to have it. And let's just keep flying right now and, focus on the bigger work. So I've had so many amazing things with this flying. And last night was the mother dream of all. And the flying represents our ability to rise above it all and to look down. And the minute you question, am I really flying? Is it okay? Is someone looking at me? Am I going to get in trouble? Have I broken someone's? You fall. You actually can't hold the levity. So in this dream, it's not like I'm flying up above the earth, it's hunky-dory with the other angel. And sometimes I get caught in windstorms in my dreams and I go, oh, that's too dangerous. I can't go into that area. I'll lose my grounding. So it's a metaphor. And in this dream, the horrific floods, there are carnivals of intensity of people, and I'm just flying above it and observing and stopping to experience something and looking. And it's like human schooling, human tribes and different things. And they're saying now humans have to be able to rise above it, almost like certain very challenging tasks of flying to get beyond this realm. It's almost like there was tricksters, and there are beings in our realm in human form, your own family, your partners. It could be unseen dark people, our own government, who they can monitor other people's light intentions and behaviors. And there are more blocks, sand traps, and tricks to keep people now in a dumbed down, non-flying, heavy-weighted state. So in this dream, this metaphor, I'm flying, and I said, geez, it's getting darker, and my corridors for where I need to go are getting tighter and almost unfathomably difficult. And so it was almost like those game rooms where you go in and you're trying to find your way out. And so I'm flying, and I kept saying, should I give up? Can I really do this? Can I fly this high? And then at the very last, it was almost as if all the dark realms conspired to trick that we've got you in this room, and there's no way out. And I said, yes, there is a way out. And I saw a window, and I said, and I'm going through that window. And I knew if I went back, I knew that I had to trust and hold my vibration and get out of the matrix. And it took everything, even in my dream state, I was wide awake. I will show them I cannot be tricked anymore. I see the truth. I see it as a holographic truth, because beyond their little game of all these little trick traps was freedom and joy. So I had to hold my levity, my trust. And as I went towards that window, it opened it up, and there I was. Now there still was raging tsunami water, taking houses and everything out. But I said, it seemed like the higher I went, and the more I trusted I wouldn't fall, the more I was able to meet the more challenging, trickster energies, see them from what they are, and to triumph. And the triumph is the human spirit, the human soul over the dearth of materialism, predatory behaviors, the AI construct, and the misguided, misshapen, misrepresented truth that has led so much for so long. So let's have you drop in now. Let's take a deep breath through our nose and out through our mouth. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We make an intention that, knowing that every thought we have of struggle or trouble leads us into the matrix of challenge, disheartening mistrust, we're going to ask that moving forward, that we have over 50% of our thoughts heart-centered. And I hope you don't have to have a major catastrophe to open your heart to yourself, your community, for what is right to do. Open your home. So feel into, can I hold my trajectory? Can I have myself ship-shape with over 50% of positive, life-giving, spirit-filled thoughts? This is the order of the day, because that will keep you buoyant. And below that, these little doors that are seemingly limitations will dissolve. When I asked how my daughter was doing on this journey, she said, I'm not stressed out. And that was her efficacy. That's her confidence. That's her belief in goodness. She said, however, the exits on the freeway were on fire. Think of the confidence that she had to have to protection and safety to exit the inferno, to move into safety and freedom and open arms of people who will take her in. We are all learning this lesson now with our own individual story. So in your heart, ask, are there any little dark shut doors and windows as part of your matrix, as part of your background, that stop you in your tracks and make you doubt that you can fly and that you have super duper reattunement gifts for this realm? And just feel in. You don't even have to know what they are. Maybe someone told you when you were 3, who do you think you are to be a smarty pants? You say, well, I'll just be a rock. I'll just never talk. Whatever. It's gradations of it. So take a deep breath, and just in this breath, blast it with divine light of truth of what nonsense that was. That's not true. You're a divine being. You're an avatar here to fly out the last window of the matrix they throw at you. Why? So that others can follow you. That we can en masse exit the flaming inferno of the last days of darkness on earth. This really is a biblical moment. Plagues, bird flu, COVID, raging floods, tsunamis, earthquakes, everything is falling apart. The tower is crashing and burning. And what does that leave? You, in your divinity, still here with legs, a voice, and hands, and an open heart, choosing and being this bright light. It's almost easier now, with everything falling apart, to be a bright light and to observe it. So 2025 is the time to be that light. Be that light, because there's nothing out there worth being anymore. It's all falling apart. And so who you always were was waiting for you to fully embody it and be it and embrace it and be the light. I interviewed a dear friend 2 days ago, Amy Lyndon Adams. And she told me the way to be who you really are in 2025 is not from doing, but it comes from the restful state. That's the only way your brain can access anything true and new, is to stop thinking. Let's ratchet down our thoughts right now. Any thinking, monitoring, let's ratchet them down. And so we can come to that restful, still point state that is outside the matrix, that is observing the burning down of the house, knowing something more substantial, sustainable, and appropriate will take its place. We trust in our existence as divine beings above all. Feel that. Feel it. Don't think it. No thoughts. Feel your stomach, your body. Let your physical body be divine, holding the divine consciousness that you are. Let the whole package be fully integrated now. Beautiful. This energy is now trickling down our spine. It's going out into our nerves, into our tissues. We are positive. We are aligned. We are light. There's nothing that the old matrix can trick us with, taunt us with anymore. Our light, and with other beings being the light that they are showing the way to something new. Something restful, something non-efforting. And this is the feminine, just to be, just to hold space, have arms to hold, hands to create, eyes to see, and that manipulative mind is taking a break, taking a back seat to the feminine. The feminine's heart is open and safe because she trusts herself. The old patriarchal stories were just whipped up for the control and service of certain sectors. And we are seeing and feeling and being this truth in every breath and every spirit-imbued thought and every blessed action from this moment on. And so it is. We ask and intend that these energies integrate and stabilize in all aspects of our being, emotional, physical, mental. Take a breath, and because we say it is so, it is so, it is so, it is so. We add on blessings on the journey for all beings involved with this fire, for the highest good, the highest lessons, the highest ability to embody goodness and truth in all aspects of their being. And so it is. So as we finish this talk and meditation, we're going to put a beautiful golden resilient egg around our entire body and let everything else bounce off. See it for what it is, a construct of somebody's intention, somebody's playbook, because your playbook, truth, light, and love, is stable and safe. It's not shakable at all. Blessings, I'm Jan Jorgensen at Sound and Light HealingArts.com. See you next week.